What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, class swing traders? Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Anna, Andy. We got Bill. Good morning to Frank, JT. We got Lauren in the house. Good morning to Martina, Rick, Tim. We got you guys piling in. Lucian's in the house. Good morning to you. All my people out in YouTube land. We got Clarice, Mar. Good morning to you. Santilla's in the house. Good morning to you, Dell or Dale. Dale? Yeah, Dale. Yeah, what's going on, Dale? We got M Sky in the house. Good morning to you. All my other lurkers that are just joining us in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button as well. Hit the notifications. We do go live every day from 9 to 9:30 Eastern. So anytime the market's open, you guys could always tune in. But yeah, all right, we got a little pullback. Nothing too crazy. We did have some selling that eventually came in yesterday. All of it still holding up, still just a retest gap. We did come in slightly underneath. We had some price action underneath this 597.94 zone. Nothing too crazy. Bulls ended up bringing it back up. We did close with another higher VPOC, albeit a little bit still tight in a range. So I'm still going to be using that as my little bit of support to see if we could hold that. We start getting candles that close underneath, which is possible now that we have kind of messed with that line. We got 597.94. I want to see that hold. Otherwise, I think the next spot down would be the opening price of this November 8th candle. And if we dip a little bit lower, my real target would be down to like 95, 594.87, somewhere in that zone. So we have a little bit to pull back against, still just on the heels of a very, very strong move. So nothing too crazy yet. Wouldn't be shocked out of my mind if there is a pullback eventually. But for right now, I can't even honestly say that there's definitely a pullback happening or we open and run. We got yesterday's VPOC at 598.61, and that $600 number so far has proven to be a little bit of a good psychological number for the SPY. We'll see if we get some closing above that, and then just to rally home. I think eventually we will be getting there. Again, maybe it takes another day or two of some chop, and then we break through. But for right now, everything still looks massively bullish. I don't see any negative headlines really coming in quite yet, so I don't really have a reason except for everybody's just wildly profitable and looking to take some gains. But we'll see where we want to open. We still got 25 minutes till the morning bell. So if we could open where we're at, I'd stay mildly bullish at this zone, opening into a support after a retest gap, and see if we could just kind of bang on out of here in a bullish direction. Attempt to look at that $600 spot on the SPY and see if ultimately today's a day that we might be able to break through. We'll see. We got the Qs. The Qs are looking very similar to the SPY. Good gap up. That was a retest. We closed essentially right at yesterday's VPOC, although one little warning sign, nothing too crazy, but yesterday's VPOC did close a little bit lower. So now, even if we have to retest that, that means we're breaking through this 513.76 zone. And now it's going to be a little more of a challenge, but it's only one small move back after, again, massive rally. Little warning sign, but nothing too crazy. Otherwise, status quo, lean to the bull direction for me for today. If we start breaking down yesterday's VPOC, so if we do get a retest into the 513.34, fine. I'm okay with that. Next spot down would be 512.27. We've already messed with that one. It's a little bit easier to take that one out. And if we do, again, I'd look for the opening price on this November 7th candle. That's still a decent amount of ways away, but I'd be looking for probably 503.29 longer term, a little bit more of a deeper pullback. So we'll see. But right now, we're just kind of consolidating after absolutely crazy push that we're just figuring out what to do from after that one. You guys are throwing Honeywell up. Yeah, I think Honeywell got a big investment. Somebody invested heavily into this one, $5 billion stake from Elliott. So nice little move. Hasn't really done too much for a while. I mean, going back to, I mean, I didn't even say we're going back to 2023. Beyond that, it's relatively in the same levels as December 2020. So as the entire market has been making these big moves up, Honeywell's been kind of flat. Good gap today with that Elliott investment. This is a retest gap, but you're clearing a lot of pivots. Honeywell, my guess is there's not a lot of short float on this one. If we were to look it up, probably very low. Company's been around for a while. I think this one, I don't know, when you're dealing, and I believe this is all-time highs, right? Let me see. Yeah, all-time highs. I think on something like Honeywell, this is probably a fadeable move as opposed to some of these other ones that hit all-time highs that if you've been stuck in this as the Nvidias of the world, the Teslas of the world been popping, the Apples, the Googles, everything's been going crazy, and you've just been hanging out with your shares in Honeywell. I think if you get this gap, it's probably a little more fadeable where somebody was like, all right, just lock in some gains. This is one that is in a lot of people's long-term portfolios as well. So that being said, there's gonna be a bunch of people that are just not doing anything with it, just holding it, my guess. I just don't know if we see that bullish rally that you've seen on some of the other things. Only thing that's different is it's 2024 and you get any kind of pop, it just keeps going. But I don't think I'd want to play this one to the bullish side. It's good news, good investment, good stake in the company. I don't think I'd want to play this one to the. I'm not excited to play it to the bullish side. It doesn't mean I can't. But if I can get a little pullback first, maybe that pullback comes into like 233.75, maybe go bullish. But I think this one is where I'd want to put it. I think there's a lot of people just dead money sitting in Honeywell for a long time, just happy as a pig in, well, you know. But yeah, I think I would probably take some gains on this one, most likely, but we'll see. Shop is up 20%. Yeah, we had a lot of the memes running yesterday. Not that Shop is really qualified as meme, but definitely had that. Finally got some kind of a breakout yesterday. Nice gap up today off of, I believe, earnings. Yep. So Tuesday, November 12th, they barely beat, but it was a beat on earnings per share. They did come in with a $76 million higher than expected side for revenue. This is popping above 108. A little bit into, I got my 618. Let me see where I drew this from. I have no recollection of drawing this. All right. So in a bigger term, you are above that 50% retracement, which is somewhere around $100.25. So if we do pull back, see if that one wants to hold, see if we get that 50 as support. I got a big 618. That's sitting at 118.27. So decent amount of room. You're about halfway between it. So I got a decent amount of room on both sides. You've had a couple good months on this one. Couple good months. I would like to see a pullback. I don't think I would love to see this thing get held at this $100.25 zone. Um, I could play this one either way, I think. I think I'd have to wait for an opening candle. Shop is definitely one of those ones that, unlike Honeywell, where I think Shopify could get that extra bullish support coming in as soon as the market opens and it does push higher. It's got a lot of room on it. 20%. That's a big move. Do I have any resistance over here somewhere? I do, but we're slightly above it. All right. This is gonna be a wild card, but I'm gonna lean in the bullish direction on it. Massive gap to go. So maybe get some. Let's see if we get some kind of pullback. Again, if we get down to that $100.25 mark, and then we see some kind of reversal candle down there, I'd love it. But we're smack in the middle, so honestly, either direction is fine with me. So I'd have to see what some of those opening candles look like. But this one could definitely get that extra momentum in it. Let's check Amazon too. If Amazon is getting sympathy in either direction from the shop report. They're up a little bit too. You have decent resistance slightly above you, nothing crazy. It is a good gap and go, just still inside candle from yesterday, but otherwise it is a gap and go. You got resistance right above you on Amazon, 209.13, and then taking you to 209.84. So could get held up a little bit, but I'd still prefer this one bullish as well from just sympathy in the Shopify move with that gap and go. The question is, can we get through that resistance? Let's get this one a little higher on the list as well. Coin. Yeah, the Doge was just out of its mind yesterday. The Doji coin, for anybody still holding it, the coin that makes 10,000 new coins every single minute. So definitely not short supply on that one. Has been going crazy. Has been going nuts. The joke coin has been making some people some money. Coin was up $22 last night. What happened? I think is Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. I don't know if they have any news, but I mean, You're telling me this thing went $22 last night? Let's look at the after hours. Uh, was that on Robinhood that it went $22? No, yeah, kind of got the pop up here too. Um, Even actually, this was a little bit of a retest gap, and it looks like it's just kind of overextended. I mean, this thing has gone from 176 all the way up to, I mean, was it 176? Hold on, that can't be right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Not only is that not in that was not incorrect information, it was an under exaggeration. It's actually went from like 150 all the way up to you're up more than 100%. You're getting some gap up still. Um, yeah, I'd watch this one for right now at least. That looks like there's some tired bulls from that pop yesterday, or at least some decent profit taking. You might still rally out of the gate on this one. You're still inside candle. You're about almost the 618 of that candle from yesterday. But I would watch that target of 328. See if that one wants to hold the 328.12, somewhere around there. That's where your new resistance probably will come in. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. This is where I got that 176 from. But if you go back a little bit further, you're essentially popping from 150, 100% in about a month, which is wild. Um, Obviously some bullish strength, but let's see if there's any pullback in crypto in Bitcoin itself, USD. Um, yeah, Bitcoin's pulling back a little bit too. Bitcoin made a pop into, did we hit 90,000? What's the high of this one? Almost. We fell $17 short of the $90,000 mark. So 89,983. We said this yesterday. Every single person I've ever talked to recently about Bitcoin, depends, but their short-term view at least is, yeah, Bitcoin's gonna hit 100,000. It very well might. It very well might. I have no idea. I just don't like when everybody just has a definite number in their head of like, yeah, it's gonna hit 100,000 because then a lot of times you get the front runners just selling it before. So falling short of 10,000 into your goal, maybe we start hitting a little hiccup. Again, if you're thinking too, just on a risk reward basis, if you're thinking uh $100,000 for Bitcoin is my target, you have this much more room to get to your goal. But if it pulls back, you have all of this room. So where do you think your risk reward really starts to come in? Probably not here. Is not really where I want to buy it if this is my target. If I'm talking to the other people that are going, Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million, you could buy it anywhere. You still have a lot of upside on this thing. But yeah, you're starting to hit that number where okay, you're like, okay, I mean, I'm pretty confident it hits, but why do I need to risk it with all the money that I'm making? So you still have a little bit more risk to the downside than to the reward to the upside. So maybe it starts getting a little shaky, but otherwise, a day ago we had an outstanding breakout day, a little bit of a rest after a few green days in a row. Kind of makes some sense. You're still at support, I would say, is somewhere around 84,752. If that starts to break, maybe you're looking for a bigger pullback back down to like 79,860. So it's got some room to drop if it wants to. Otherwise, for right now, it does look resting. I'd still make the case crypto overall bullish. We talked about that as soon as the interest rates started to drop. We're like, man, that's uh that's good for the crypto space. When you have risk-free money, and we're not quite there yet, but we're on the path to it if we keep lowering the interest rates from the Fed. You have risk-free money to throw around, and money is easier to obtain and receive and throw it into wild investments. That's good for crypto space. So we'll see what happens on this one, but watch this one around here. Same thing, just risk reward basis anyway. If you start breaking yesterday's candle down, 295.86, you're probably heading to close this gap down to like 270.30 at least. And then I would actually be looking for some kind of resistance around 327. Usually, when you have those gap ups and they start really fading, you have some either tired bulls or just some profit taking. And especially if the underlying asset is not going to cooperate or at least pull back a little bit. Tesla is also gapping now, so finally getting a little pullback. We almost hit 360 yesterday. We closed to the penny at 350. That was essentially where my targets were going, is to 350. I was like, man, if we break this 300, I didn't think it was going to happen in 4 days. That part I got wrong. My timing was was way off when they stampeded right toward it. But ultimately, I was like, hey, if we could break this three, I think we hit 350. We did that. We have a high wave indecision candle. Right now, out of the gate, and I don't think today's the day to go long for me. It's just up a lot. We covered this a little bit in the options class yesterday. Um, Especially when you're getting into options, this is not really the time that you want to be buying calls after a big, massive rally. Uh, from 2 weeks ago, we're starting at 212. We get to 350 in a very short time frame. Can it go higher? Of course. We have a little indecision high wave candle. We got lots of volume. If we start breaking underneath that candle, I think you have at least a path back down to like 317.63, maybe better yet, back down to like 298.13. So you have some room for this pullback. This is the time you want to be selling calls though. Locking some of that. Georgia says no, it dropped like $20 overnight. You're talking about Tesla? Uh, yeah, we were about $10 lower from here. Yep. I think it is a little bit more weak. I don't know. I mean, risk to reward wise, right now on a day trade basis, and again, it kind of looks like it probably has to rest. But I could make a case where if it doesn't break down yesterday's candle, I think you have a bullish pop out of the gate. And it looks like it already did break down yesterday, so probably able to do it again, I would think. If this one gets a rally in it, though, watch. If you're going to play it bullish, I don't think that's the way that I would like to do it. If you get some kind of a pop up into 346.92, that would be a good spot now where you have really good risk reward to the bear side. Doesn't mean it's going to work. You might lose all of your money that you put into it, right? Maybe we'd break out, we just keep going. The stock market will be the stock market, but that gives you really good risk reward at a higher price. You're still not bad here. You still got some decent room down to this 317.68 mark. So really, really not that bad to if we get some bullish candles out of the gate somewhere, maybe some pre-market breakdown, we could probably play it for that fade. It's still Tesla. You still have Elon hanging out with Trumpy. You have everything kind of in Elon's favor at this point. So it's not still the easiest short. There's definitely going to be some buy the dippers coming in. I think we have to pull back a decent amount to really trigger some of those bulls to come in and buy. George says, yeah, don't want to go long today. I agree. I don't think I would want to play. I don't know if there's enough risk to reward for me to play it to the bull side. But I could make a case on a tight setup to do it. Otherwise, if it can get the pop, then I'll be definitely looking for a place to go short on Tesla today. And we'll see. Maybe we just never pull back ever again. That's possible. It hasn't happened yet, but there's a first for everything, right? I think. You got Baba. That one's dipping. This is a little bit of a retest gap from yesterday. Let's see if this one can get bought up off the. I don't know about the open. You have the 100 coming in, so look for support somewhere around 91.32. Really, I don't have a VPOC till $90.31. But I think it is in danger of probably closing that gap at least. Big support on this one, somewhere around $88.41. So still just kind of pulling back. These China stocks are going to be wild. Overall, longer term, I think valuation is still good. I'm not really too worried. I'm just going to be holding my stock, and we'll see how the next few years develops. But for today, that is a retest gap, so maybe don't go short right out of the gate, especially with targets pretty kind of close. See if you get some kind of a pop. If you do, you might have that short back into that 100. So we'll see where that goes. And then extended would take you probably to about $90.37. But yep, kind of gapping down a little bit. Let's see. We got MU on the list. Let's see what MU is doing. Not too much again. We're just we've been chopping essentially from September 26th all the way up to today. We're still in that zone. We're smack in the middle of it. You have your 200 EMA that's sitting at somewhere around 103.34. So to the downside, let's see if we come into somewhere into that zone. But again, retest gap. I don't really have a great risk reward, bullish or bearish at this point. If we go bullish, my target is going to be about 107.76. So you still get about $2 on this move, maybe slightly over it if it does pop. To the downside, I'd have to be looking and eyeing down that 200, so somewhere around 103.41. If it could get a little lower, all right, maybe you can make a case for 102.18, but for right now, just kind of hanging out. I would love to see this one drop a little bit more just so I can play that retest into that 107. If this one wants to come down into like this 104.36 zone and get some kind of bounce or even into that 200, get some good candles a little bit lower, I think going bullish at that point into this 107.76 target would be kind of how I want to try to play that, but I need a little bit more selling for that one. All right. HD raises guidance. Yeah, Home Depot, I believe, reported earnings. There's another one where you had a good move after hours. I think we faded a lot of it. Let's see. Yeah, we got a good pop into 420. This might be a stock where good earnings were kind of already projected. They did beat on earnings. It was a good report for them. So you beat by 3.53% earnings per share. You got $907 million beat on beat to the higher side on revenue. But a lot of that is attributed to the hurricanes. I think there was a lot of people looking for those good numbers. I don't know if this one actually holds. So if you get some buying out of the gate, you're probably looking for 415.58 zone. Otherwise, I do think we probably end up hitting this 409 fully retest, and then if it does one of those crazy bearish engulfing candles today, I actually wouldn't be too shocked on this one. We'll see what happens, but everybody knew about the hurricanes. You figure Home Depot, Lowe's, those guys are going to probably benefit. Now that that's over, you're kind of back to reality. They did get the guidance raise, so that's strong, and it is earnings. But again, the earnings I think get attributed to an outlier event as well. We'll see. Let's see what else I'm missing. There's Home Depot, Tesla. We talked about MSTR. That's going to take us back into crypto space. Again, just astonishing moves on some of these guys. This one's going to have support. I know it's a decent one, right? 50% of yesterday's candle. That gives us the VPOC as well. That's 322.06. Currently sitting at 331.50. So maybe a little bit more downside. Again, would love to see this one pop before I go short. Just because I don't know if this breaks down. If it does break down, you might be looking for a full reversal. But I think we have to get Bitcoin past that support. And right now, Bitcoin is just kind of hanging into that support zone. So nothing too crazy quite yet. Otherwise, fantastic breakout, fantastic move. GameStop was another one that was moving yesterday too. Uh, nice plays. The memes were just kind of all picking up, rallying. Affirm was another one, just bananas. I don't know how strong some of these meme rallies are going to be. I don't know if you guys also remember the last time we've really had good meme pops after the market. So usually it's like the market pops, memes do nothing, and then everyone's like, all right, let's just throw some money in some memes. You get that rally, kind of usually ends like the mark of like a big strong run. Unfortunately, we'll see if that plays out. I don't know if this run is quite done yet, but we would have to get above 26.38 to see if we could keep on going and rallying this one home. It's got a lot of room to the upside. Again, it's not on fundamentals at all, but it doesn't mean that you can't buy high and sell higher. That might be the play on this one. For right now, I would see if you could get closer to the low of yesterday before attempting to try to get into something like this. You can still trade them. They move crazy, but you can still trade them. The candles still make sense on a lot of these meme stocks, so they're not horrible. Affirm was another one breakout. I didn't see this one yesterday. Yeah, there was no real gap. Nobody brought it up really until like we were up in this zone. And I'm like, man, that was a good hammer. That was a good hammer we did the day before, and then we pretty good open to it. You did have a little resistance somewhere around 49, 43. We blew past all of that. I think some of these things they might have a little pullback today, but I think there's still some strength in some of these where we get that continuation rally. So I would keep some of the affirms and the GameStops just kind of on the list to watch, see if we get anything crazy. Kevin says running late this morning. Have we looked at Meta? No, we did not pull up Meta yet. Not yet. We got Meta. Why does that look oddly like that Affirm we just looked at? Good hammer off of the 20. Same thing as Shopify. I mean, the market, I don't know how strong the market is today, but that looks like a decent pullback, decent hammer. Again, you're still gonna have the same resistance on this one. We're opening right into one of them. That's 587.41, and then the next stop, if we could get there, would be 592.13. But that looks oddly familiar as the chart we just looked at from yesterday on a firm that went crazy. Not that they're the same. They're going to be very different. A firm has a higher short float too, so you get those dramatic moves, those crazier pushes. But that looks good. Overall, you're still in this big chop. I wonder if today is a day we could actually break out of this. I would think that the rest of the market wants to get more bullish if we're going to do that. And today it doesn't seem like we're crazy bullish. We're just hanging in there. And now you're gapping above that first resistance we just talked about. I'm gonna watch this one. If we can get a pullback, get some kind of candles. I don't know if today's the day we get that breakout, but it does look awfully like a firm yesterday. Not bad. Santilla says Tesla's moving to 400 soon. Maybe. I don't know why I also just typed in 400. Or just type in the price targets and then all the stocks that it's going to reach there eventually comes up. That would be some technology. But yeah, maybe Tesla hits 400. I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't even think that we can't break 400, but it's just very hard for me to get in here. Very hard. Georgia says when today. This is not financial advice, but I would think today's not the day. I don't think it's today. I know we already have balloons. We just got to blow them up and stuff for the party, but not yet. Not yet. I don't think so. We'll have to wait. Give me a pullback. Let me get some more positions, and then we could start blowing those balloons up. That'd be cool. MSTX. MSTX. Um. Yeah, same thing. Just kind of chilling. Look for support on that one, somewhere around 84.97 if you get a little further. That bell rang like 30 seconds quicker than I thought it did, or thought it was going to. Otherwise, everybody on YouTube land, that bell means I got to disconnect. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll do it every day. Every day. You guys are awesome.